Space, a final frontier.
Hello, Trekkie Dave here, and this is video 4 that I'm doing. It is a Halloween video. I've noticed that different YouTubers basically celebrate the holidays by doing different videos that are specific to a holiday. So, you know, you'd have a Christmas video or a Halloween video. So today I'm wanting to do the video as video 4 so we can get it out ahead of Halloween. But there's a couple of videos coming up that I'm wanting to just quickly mention here and just kind of prepare you guys for mentally. So the first one here, I don't know if you guys watched the the Marvel What If series on Disney Plus, but I'm loving it. Like, I absolutely love it. Like, I love Marvel. I've been a MCU fanboy for a long time and I just love it. Anyways, I'm loving What If. So anyways, there's the Avengers there, that poster that I have. But with that, I'm wanting to do a MCU video coming up that basically the gist of the video is that Black Widow is a much better film than it's currently being considered by critics and by just mainstream in general. I don't think it's middle of the pack Marvel. In my opinion, after analyzing the movie and watching it a number of times, I think it's in the top tier. Like, I'm talking top 5. That good. And I know I haven't seen anybody else with that take. So I just like to go over why I think that is, but that's for the future, because I know that will be a bit controversial as well. Another one with What If. What if we lived in a world where this film, so Star Wars, this film and this film, so The Empire Strikes Back and The Last Jedi, were considered to be the same quality? Because I actually believe that's the world we live in. I think the best thing Lucasfilm did, and Kathleen Kennedy, was hire Rian Johnson as a director, an auteur filmmaker. And I know that's a controversial opinion or whatever, but you know what? The Last Jedi is a cinematic masterpiece. And I love that Rian Johnson took the Star Wars mythology and incorporated progressive storytelling into it, but kept the mythology intact. He didn't break Star Wars. He pushed it. And one of the best parts of the sequel trilogy is The Last Jedi, and specifically the connection and the relationship between Rey and Kylo Ren. It goes beyond anything that the original trilogy or the prequels even came close to, and Rian Johnson nails it. So that's the future. I know the comment section will explode with that. So you know what, I'm low energy today. I'm doing the best I can. I'm not even gonna go on that one yet, other than just to mention it to kind of prepare you guys mentally for it. But that's in the future. So with my Halloween one, there were a few constants in my life when I was a child. And as you guys all know, one of them was Star Trek. When I was 7, it was Star Wars. It was George Lucas's original Star Wars before it was A New Hope. Loved that. I collected Star Wars cards, I collected comics and so forth. But the other constant for my entire childhood was the Universal Studio monster films. And every Halloween, like even before we thought about it back then, like watching a Halloween movie, every Halloween, they would come on Sunday afternoons on, I think it was called Sci-Fi Fantasy Theater in Vancouver. And it was a cable network, and they would show the original monster movies. So it'd be the original Dracula and you know, Frankenstein's Bride and so forth. And there are 3 films that are part of that universe, kind of like the MCU collected universe or whatever, but was part of that Universal Monster Universe that never get mentioned. And I personally think they should, because they're amazing. They're amazing films. So the films I wanted to mention and the impact I think they have on popular culture and so forth, all 3 films, especially 2 of them, were way ahead of their times, way ahead of their times. And the first one I want to mention is a film called The Mummy's Curse that came out in 1944. It's a Universal monster movie. It's one of the Mummy sequels, and it was directed by Leslie Goodwin. And what I love about this movie and what I think makes it unique and different and something special is that the movie has all of the elements of a modern horror film. It's by far the most violent film in the Universal monster canon. The scene of the female mummy awakening in the swamp is still effective and legitimately scary and unnerving 80 years later. That scene demonstrates clear elements of modern body horror, which is just bizarre for a 1944 movie, but it has modern body horror. Like, she's like a zombie and she's like coming to and her body is contorting, and it's the creepiest scene, and it's so well done. It's a genuinely true horror film made 80 years ago. I've never seen anything like it. And it was before any of that was accepted by, you know, modern audiences. To see a horror film like that, a modern horror film from 1944, in black and white and everything, it's kind of unnerving, even today when I watch it. And every time I watch it, the film ends, and I'm just absolutely shocked that the film ever got made, and that it ever found an audience, or that it wasn't, I don't know, in trouble or something with the ratings board or whatever for being so out there. But it's an amazing film, okay? The second one that I wanted to mention that deserves to be mentioned, because this one is incredible. It's called The Revenge of the Creature from 1955. So it's one of the Creature from the Black Lagoon sequels. And this film, kind of like with The Mummy's Curse, but it's basically plays like a 1970s slasher film. The film I would mention here is Halloween, because I have to believe that John Carpenter saw Revenge of the Creature, because his Halloween, the way it is set up, is so similar to Revenge of the Creature. So in this movie, the creature from the Black Lagoon escapes from the San Diego Aquarium, which is funny, but it escapes from the San Diego Aquarium. But he's smart, right? Like, he's a creature, but he's an intelligent creature. And he understands he's escaped, and he understands who had him imprisoned for all those years. And he decides he's gonna basically follow them around. He's going to, what's that word, Julie? He's going to stalk them. It's played out like Halloween with Michael Myers. The creature is like outside a window looking through as she's having a shower. It's looking through the bathroom. It's watching her in her nightgown. Like, it's so creepy and weird. It's such a weird movie. So the movie plays out like a modern slasher film, like a John Carpenter film. It's presented in that kind of way where you see the creature's viewpoint, basically what he's seeing, and he's stalking the main characters. He's following them around. It is weird and so cool. And this is, again, 80 years before Halloween. So I think John Carpenter, I'm not saying it was a direct reference, but there's definitely a connection. Because when I saw this film for the first time, immediately, that's the first thing that went through my mind. This is Halloween. This is Black Christmas. This is amazing. So, okay, so there's those two. And this last one I just wanted to mention because it always gets ignored. And it's called The Invisible Man's Revenge. It also came out in 1944. And, oh yeah, the Revenge of the Creature was 1955, and that was directed by Jack Arnold. The Invisible Man's Revenge was 1944, and that was directed by Ford Beebe. And what's interesting about this one is it takes the Invisible Man back to his evil bad guy roots. This film is hardcore. It's exceptionally well conceived, and it's executed for the 1940s cinema, but it's a very modern movie. Like, the main character in this film does a lot of really bad stuff. And again, it's got an edge to it that all the films don't have. So in my opinion, these three films, because of what I've said about them, should be higher on people's lists. They don't even make the lists of anything. It's always the same films. It's, you know, The Bride of Frankenstein, it's Dracula, it's The Wolfman, which are all amazing films. But to me, these three films belong in that top tier because of their uniqueness. They are one of a kind, way before their time horror and slasher and monster films that deserve more recognition. So for this Halloween, if you can, I don't know, if you can stream it or come across them, try them, because you might just be surprised. You'd be like, you know, I want to watch Halloween, but maybe I'll watch Revenge of the Creature, and it's Halloween-ish, and it's cool. So the other one I wanted to mention, or two I wanted to mention here, just real quick, and that's it for the video. It's a short one today. Like I said, I'm feeling a bit off here. But two films that for me have been a staple of Halloween my entire life, and they're so deserving of it, are 1944, Frank Capra's Arsenic and Old Lace. Julie, can you bring this over? Arsenic and Old Lace with Cary Grant. I absolutely love this film for Halloween. We just watched it the other night, my family, and it is a classic, and it is so worthy. So Frank Capra is the same director that did It's a Wonderful Life, which was, of course, the iconic Christmas movie. But this is his Halloween movie. That's what it essentially is. And it is a Halloween movie, and it is so good, like so incredible. The other one that has been one of my favorite films my entire life to this day is Abbott and Costello Meets Frankenstein. So that one came out in 1946. And basically what happened is the studio decided to join Abbott and Costello, which was a comedy duo, with the original monsters. And it works so well because what they did is they kept Abbott and Costello as funny, but they treated the monsters as completely straight. So in that film, you've got Frankenstein and you've got Dracula, and they're presented as Frankenstein and Dracula. They're presented in a scary way. These are, forces, like supernatural forces that the guys are up against, and it's hard, right? Like it's tough, like to go up against Dracula and Frankenstein. The Wolfman is in it as well. Amazing film. I watch it every year since I was a child, and it brings a smile to my face. I'll watch it multiple times. I just love it. So if you're looking for something that's older, something that's not as readily known or whatever, this is the films to watch. And then of course we got the monster universe, which is this, and then I got a book here just about it, just covering it off a little bit, and then Creature of the Black Lagoon, and that's it. So that's the end of the video. So that's my Halloween special. Hopefully you get something out of it. So if you do get something out of it, if you could hit the thumbs up and subscribe, because again, I'm trying to do as many of these as I can, and if there's interest, then I'm going to continue to do it. If there's not, then it might just kind of go away, sort of thing. But I think I'm going to continue to do it. But it'd be nice to know that people are watching it and that I'm bringing something fresh to the table that you appreciate. So I'll be coming out with a video next week at some point, and it will either be the Marvel one or the Last Jedi one, whatever I feel up to. I think both are a little, controversial takes or whatever, but that's okay. I think that's good, right? Like, if I'm not going to bring something new to this, then I don't really see what the point is. If I just give you the same information every other YouTuber does, then really, I'm not even sure why I'm doing this. So with Black Widow, I love that movie. And like I said, for me, that was the biggest surprise this year. It's my favorite film of this year, and it deserves all the recognition, I think, that I want to give it, because it's an amazing film. And The Last Jedi is something I've been sitting on for years. It is such an amazing cinematic masterpiece, and it is so underappreciated. It's beyond ridiculous. I think people just need to open their minds to maybe not what they're expecting. I know Rian Johnson and his whole thing about, not giving you what you expect. Well, you know what? With this film, there's truth to that. And you have to be open to what he's trying to present. If you're not, then yeah, you're probably going to hate the film. So I love the film. So anyways, that's it. So God bless again. Next week, another video, which will be video number 5. And that's it. So thank you.